chapter 3, and I'm going to read verse 8. Verse 8 says,
a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time for peace. And my subject for today is, your season have a time. We know that this is Solomon wrote the book of Ecclesiastes. And Solomon had wrote the book of Ecclesiastes during his lifestyle. He had did everything that the word had offered him. So, you know, in the first book of Kings, in chapter 11, around 42, it tells us that Solomon had reigned over Israel 40 years. And it also Solomon always tells us in the book of Ecclesiastes, over in 1 to 2, how there's nothing new under the sun, how the wind goes to and fro, how generation come out of generation. And Solomon had so many words telling us back then that after he chose to stop living the life that God had chosen to live, his life to him was useless. So now in the book of Ecclesiastes, I picked out two main keys in this verse: time and season. And when I looked up the definition for time, it says a measuring point during which act or a situation extends a time in hours, days, weeks, months, and years of time. It also tells us in one book, God is the Lord of time because he created and ordained time. So that let us know, can nothing happen with God without God's permission. So now Solomon also telling us in verse 1, to everything there is a season, there is a time and purpose under the heaven. He said it's a time to be born and a time to die. He says a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to moan and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time refuse from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to reap and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. Bring us to verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Now, it doesn't mean when you say, I look at the word season. And that says season means long, but so what? Extended period of time. Bring us right back to what time said. So when people are born, I heard the old people say, when a person be born into the world, you're supposed to cry. When a person go out of the world, a person be born in, you're supposed to cry. When a person go out, you're supposed to rejoice. But we kind of do it like both or vice versa. Sometimes I cry when a baby be born out to the world. It's a little innocent soul coming into the world of sin, but it's precious. So sometimes I cry. Most of the time we cry when people die out of the world. But Solomon letting us know, when people die, they got to die. Just as sure as you're born, you got to die. Amen. So as time go by, we need to stop getting so frustrated when people die. But yeah, it gonna hurt. Yeah. We gonna feel sad. We gonna moan and we gonna grieve all to a different time. But don't let it keep you in a grief for too long. Because after you get through grieving, you got to come back again and you got to dance. It's a time to dance after you get through grieving. And the part I like the best, when I came on down to Matthew 24 and 25, and it says, who then is faithful and wise servants, when his Lord hate made rule over his household to give them meat in due season. See, it's a season to everything. So let me break it down to you, baby. Just because God done blessed me at this point of a season, don't you get patience in your heart, because your season have a time on your time just ain't came yet. So what you need to do with me, just rejoice with me and don't hate on it, because God has a season to order all the time. Then I came on down to verse 46 in Matthew 24 and 46 said, blessed is that servant who his Lord when he cometh shall find his doing. Now when he come, he need to find you being a servant if you're still alive. That's what he's saying in the book of Matthew. Then he came on over to Psalms 94 and 7. Remember now, you still have a time to your season. Everything don't happen like we think it should happen. Everything don't happen at the time we think it should happen. It says that some things happen a lifetime, weeks, for months, but I gripped it when he said years.
Yes.
Sometimes things happen in our life in the weeks done past, the days done past, the month done past, and years just keeping on going by. And we catch ourselves saying, Lord, why so long? Why so long that this situation got to keep me for so many years? Lord, why so long this issue got to keep me for so many days? Lord, why so long I got to go through this for so many weeks? God said I have a season to catch up with your time. You just got to go on through it, God said, going through it. Not only don't feel good all the time going through your season till your time catches. No, it don't feel good all the time. It hurts more times than it do feel good. But God said, in Psalms 97:10, he said, ye that love hate evil. See, when you love the Lord, you're supposed to hate evil. He preserves the souls of his saints. He delivers them out of the hand of the wicked. That's what it means when Solomon said, there's a time to hate. Don't hate me now because of how I look. Let me break it down to y'all. Don't hate me now because how God made each other. We're not supposed to hate each other for that. You're supposed to hate what God hates and love what God loves. Let me tell you then, if you don't believe that, let me run you on over to Proverbs 6:16. Let me tell you some of the things God don't like. Matter of fact, he hates them. Proverbs 6:16 says, these 6 things doeth the Lord hate, yet 7 are abomination unto the Lord. He hates that. Then you come on down in Proverbs 16:17 says, a proud look, a lying tongue, the hand that slays innocent blood. When you come on over to Proverbs 6:18-19, it says, in the heart deceiveth wicked imagination, think that slips into the running of trouble. God hates you when you let your legs of yours go to and fro, just keeping up trouble, and trouble, and trouble. You just keeping up trouble everywhere you go. God said he hates a person that does that. Last but not least, the flesh witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among his brother. Let me tell you something, baby. When you go around putting your mouth on the children of God, lying about them, just scandalize their name, that's another way you can use hate. You put hate among a person's name just because you hate them for no cause. If they were wicked now, you're supposed to hate the wickedness in them, but you're not supposed to hate that person themselves. Because Ephesians over in chapter 12 tells us it's not the flesh, it's not the people that we wrestle against, flesh and blood. It's the principality and wickedness in God's place, baby. Don't hate that drug dealer. You hate what the drug dealer do. See, it's a time you can hate a person in a time, baby. You got to love them at all times when you're a child of God. You just can't hate a person just to hate a person because of how the person do and how the Lord used the person. Because Solomon tells us, it's going to be a time you're going to cry. Yeah, it's going to come a time that will live on that you hadn't cried. It's going to come a time you're going to cry. And let me tell you something, when you get through crying, it doesn't mean that every tear you cry is sadness. You got some joy coming out your eyes, but baby, it's going to come a time you just feel on. If you have cried, you're going to cry. Now Solomon said there's a time to cry, and when you get through crying, just go on in hands. Because after you get through crying, God will give you more strength. Because there's a new season you will be able to rejoice. Yes, the time I asked God, why so long? Why so long I have to go through this? Or why so long seeing like this season with this situation? It's never going to come to cease. Ceasing means it's going to stop. Ceasing means it's over with. Ceasing means that it's so dirty. Ceasing means that it won't get me anymore. How long, God, do I have to do this? How long, God, this situation going to keep me? How long, God? Simon told me to tell you that's a season for every purpose under the heaven in the earth. Baby, God, he put ordaining on a time. Yeah, man made a clock. God gave him wisdom and understanding to make that clock and make that hand go tick-tock, tick-tock. The second in the minute cut down the hours. But God set the timing. Genesis 1:14 tells us, God said, let there be light in this world. So then the light divided the darkness of the day. He had a time to set the darkness from the day. So I leave you with this right here. Yeah, we all going through something. No, it don't feel good. It don't feel good in the body. It don't feel good to the mind. Lord knows it don't feel good to the soul. But I leave this with you right here. Simon said, just remember, there's a season in a time on heaven and earth for the yours.
Yeah.